The weave is broken. Those of might and magic are falling. Factions fly to fill the vacuum of power as the spell plague brings destruction across the Forgotten Realms. Two heroes meet in the abandoned ruins of the Sword Coast town of Leylon. Women skilled in sword and sorcery, upon whose shoulders rest the fate of the entire Forgotten Realms.
Wait. Is he talking about us?
I sure hope not, because that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Oh, gods.
Hello and welcome to Best Left Forgotten, the deliberately uncanon and unofficial Forgotten Realms D&D actual play podcast. My name is Nathan Quadrio, and I am your Dungeon Master.
My name is Miriam Feats, and I play Clarrybelle Trollbleeder, the Dwarven Barbarian.
My name is Jess Wolfendale, and I play Flick Gullkind, the Gnome Druid.
In case you'd forgotten, Flick and Clarrybelle voyaged out across the ocean with Morty in Mordenkainen's speedboat to save Flick's island from the spell plague. With the time left to save Lantern running short, the girls were met with many obstacles that threatened to waylay their arrival. First was a wall of jagged rocks that the duo jumped the dinghy over just in time to save both themselves from an early end to their journey and the lives of the baby seals resting atop the outcropping. Next, the call of a group of sirens threatened to throw Flick and Clarrybelle off course. Flick resisted easily, while Clarrybelle was met with a vision of the sirens being devoured by the symphony. Then came a large and deadly whirlpool that knocked Morty overboard and sucked the girls in their boat down to the ocean floor. On their way back to the surface, a group of poisonous eels attacked, brutally injuring Clarrybelle as a wild-shaped Flick pushed the boat back to safety. Their final obstacle came in the form of a ship, seemingly from the realm of death, that attempted to steal Flick away. But with a surprisingly meaningful pool lesson and the help of an old friend, Flick found her way back to Clarrybelle on the boat as Lantern appeared on the horizon. However, as the girls at last set foot on the island, they found it empty. Let's jump right in. You stand on an empty beach. In front of you is a tree line, and you can see the peaks of mountains ahead of you. Flick, can you roll a history or nature check?
Yep. History 5. Wow, it looks exactly like when I left. Crazy.
It wouldn't be an advantage because it's Flick's island.
It's been a while. I get it.
I've adjusted the DC.
To 5.
Not that low, but rather than advantage, I would have adjusted the DC appropriately.
All good.
You're finding it hard to identify exactly where you are on the island and how far the damage is, but you know that the mountains are in the center of the island and you are maybe a 5-minute walk from them right now.
Is there anywhere I know of any camps or settlements that are near the mountains?
Yes, you do know that there are a number of, essentially, your home around the mountains.
Okay, hey, is it just me misremembering, or did Mordenkainen say this whole place was underwater? Like, you know, the whole air bubble thing, they're running out of air.
There was definitely something about people being underwater, because that was why we had to rush, was people were going to start drowning.
Yeah, like
if we weren't here.
He was like, this is what your island used to look like, and this is what it looks like now, and it was just ocean.
And
no, like, there's a little bump of island here.
Should we be walking backwards into the water?
I don't know. This is what I'm, maybe, you know, camera perspective was just sort of 180 degrees, and I turned around, and he was seeing that.
Maybe. I mean, his mind's been a little everywhere.
Halt! Walk no further.
We weren't walking.
And you hear a voice coming from above you.
Hail. Who is that?
I'll be asking the questions here.
Go ahead.
Why have you arrived at our island? By some mysterious magic?
Hey, who is... It's Flick. What's up?
You look up, and there is a floating raft above you. And standing atop it is a small, gnomish man wearing, quite heavy armor all around.
Narrows it down.
Flick?
Yeah.
And the raft slowly lowers. Flick Goldkind.
Is there any other besides that one?
You don't look like Flick Goldkind to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she's made of stone now.
Yep. And I bring out my staff, and I'm like, this thing, It's from here, right?
I know you don't know me, sir, but
But I assure you, we are who we say we are.
my name is Clarrybelle Troubleleader, and I'm Flick's best friend in the entire world. And I promise you that, I think I'm Flick's best friend in the entire world. She may have a best friend in the entire world here as well, but I'm her best friend in the entire world from not here, and it's definitely her. And I curtsy.
Spell plague. Hey.
And the raft lands on the ground, and the man steps off it and removes his helmet. And Flick, you recognize him as Clay Marrowbone.
Oh, Clay.
Flick?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yes. Flick, what happened to you? And he comes and he embraces you.
Yeah. Oh my God. When did you get back?
I've been back for a couple of weeks. Call it off, boys. Call it off. And he's turning around.
Sniper rifle flow.
Little red dots disappear.
That we hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
A tank rolls out.
Whole mounds of sand burst open.
All of like the Navy SEALs in the water, like slowly come up. We're good.
You look into the tree line and you see some camouflaged spiders with some very light red-brown stripes on them slowly slink backwards and disappear into the brush. What happened? I can't.
I thought this happened to all of us. I was doing my thing, and this sort of slowly happened, and then it got really bad, and now I'm like this, and that's how I knew something was wrong with the island.
I just had a feeling in my gut. I haven't been turned into stone.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Clay.
Yeah.
Clarrybelle.
Yeah, that's right.
We're both.
She knows.
She knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do?
Yeah, because I know she doesn't. We haven't actually told you that yet, but
Yeah. No. We've had a brief discussion. It's all been very wide.
Abstract.
You know how I said I made that deal with the island?
Yeah.
That's why I thought I turned to stone.
Yeah.
Clay also did that.
Oh, okay. But you're fine.
Yeah.
Ish.
yeah, I am.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
What about Knox? Are they back?
By all reports, Knox died.
Oh.
She drowned in Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
I think that it might have had something to do with everything here. Just
Yeah.
How long ago did she drown?
I don't know. I only heard about it maybe 3-10 days ago or so, just shortly after I arrived here.
I'm going to just take a look over Clay. Does he look all right?
Roll an investigation check.
14.
It's really hard to see. He's really well armored, but his head is free. He seems fine, but you notice that he's kind of like glancing side to side. He's very aware of the environment. His attention is not fully with you at this time.
And everyone else, is everyone okay?
No, everybody's not okay.
Not okay.
Clarrybelle.
As in, oh God.
There's an enormous thunderclap and an explosion blasts you, and you take 8 points of fire damage.
What? Stop trying to kill Clarrybelle!
An explosion blasts near you, Flick, and you're okay. Take cover, quick! And he grabs both of you and pushes you onto the raft with him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just need everyone to know Clarrybelle's in single hit points.
You get onto the raft, and the raft begins to rise up, and he begins to shoot off towards the tree line, just the top of the tree line.
Clarrybelle, you okay?
No.
Okay, healing word.
Thank you.
3rd level.
Great.
13 hit points. That sucks for a 3rd level spell, but here we are.
That's okay. We're in double digits again.
2 more come from down the beach as you lift up and begin to shoot away.
Can we see where they're coming from?
Can you roll a perception check?
15.
You look down on the beach, and coming out kind of on the opposite side of the beach and the tree line where you were and where the spiders were heading away are a number of small gnome people carrying these little kind of long sticks that they're pointing up at the sky and trying to send blasts up towards you.
I pointed out to Flick.
Sir?
What? I guess you've not been doing any research about lantern like some of us have.
You wanted me to Google lantern?
Yeah.
Wait, really? I thought I wasn't allowed to.
No, you're allowed to Google anything.
Well,
I messed with this thing so badly. Everything.
What's happening?
Do they normally shoot fireballs?
They're not fireballs.
I mean, they look like balls of fire.
It is.
Goodness gracious.
Sorry.
And he looks at you, Flick. It's Moon Bubble.
Wait, Baron's back?
Baron never left.
Okay, I've clearly missed a lot. Why is he... I don't understand.
Let's get to safety.
And the raft swings round and goes low into the foliage, and then you go and you pop through this bubble and you enter this really, really quiet space and move up and land. And you identify that this is not exactly your home, but very, very similar, another suburb, as it were, of your home. There are a number of tree houses connected by long, spindly ladders with no railings, people moving about. You're back home.
Is this a bad time to tell you after all the times we've fallen out of buildings? I'm kind of scared of heights.
That's so valid. I've got you.
Okay.
We'll stick to the low layers, yeah?
Yeah, the lack of handrails is really worrying me.
Yeah, look, I think you got higher dexterity than me, so just don't worry about it.
And you go and land on one of kind of the circles around the trees.
Is Pepper still around?
Clay places his hand on your shoulder. Pepper hasn't been seen in a long time.
Okay.
We don't... Some people we know categorically that they've passed, but some have just been lost. Perhaps they've hidden themselves away, or Pepper was resourceful, perhaps.
Fine. Who's in charge at the moment? Who do we need to speak to?
Come with me.
Okay.
And you walk around and into kind of a little hut that's been carved into one of the trees, and there's a little council room, and there are two people standing there poring over a big parchment out on a table. Oh no, I didn't even realize I've done this.
What have you done?
What have you done?
Son, Ray, look who I brought with me.
You didn't realize?
No, I didn't.
That's incredible, Nathan.
That's so good.
That's really good.
Love it. Okay, Sun and Ray.
Son and Ray. Two people turn around with frizzy purple hair, one wearing little blue spectacles upon their nose. Clarrybelle, you notice that these two people are dead ringers for Flick, but a few years older.
Yeah.
Flick,
Just a couple.
this is your parents.
Yeah.
Son, your mother, and Ray, your father. Son and Ray Goldkind.
It's wild.
That's the cutest thing.
Flick?
Mama.
Flick! And she runs towards you and holds you close.
I hold her tight and I really don't want to let go because then she'll see that I'm stone. So I just make eye contact with my dad over her shoulder.
Flick, what's going on?
I can ask you the same question. A lot's happened.
I'm going to leave you to this. And Clay kind of just steps back out of the room because 3 NPCs is too many to voice. When they're all from the same island with the same accent, all technically related. Oh my God.
Yep.
Mom, Dad, this is Clarrybelle.
It's an honor to meet the two of you. Flick is the most incredible person I've ever met in my life. So hello. And I curtsy again.
There's a pause. Well, any friend of Flick's is a friend of mine. And Ray shakes your hand. Well, I guess we've got a lot of developments to to hear about between you two. That's so exciting.
Yeah, Clarrybelle's the one responsible for keeping me alive.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
But
I mean, Flick also keeps me alive. It's a two-way street.
And Clarrybelle's engaged.
Oh, welcome to the Goldkind family.
No, I would have said we.
No.
There's a very specific way I phrase that.
Flick's incredible.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Ray, not again.
Every time.
Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the youths.
Flick lets the mailman in, and Ray's like, "Happy day,
family."
Well, Flick, you've come back.
Yeah.
Well, What's happening to you? Why? You look like you're made of stone.
Yeah, I'm fine. It was bad for a while, but it's stable now. It's how I knew something was wrong here. What's happening? We don't have much time.
Well, things have gotten more complicated than we thought. The spell plague it's causing the oceans to rise, and we were all doing our best to fight it and putting out things in place to protect ourselves. And I'm not sure if you saw that the wall that you've come through is kind of our last bastion of hope. But then some people turned, and they thought that this was a punishment for our druidic ways, and that we had brought the spell plague upon ourselves. That's what they had said. And your old friend, Baron Moonbubble is the leader of that charge, and he just sees things a different way. But it's not like the Baron that we knew when you were growing up. It's like some kind of dark shade has come over him, and he's a man obsessed.
Spell plague. Okay.
And so we haven't been able to get out and do the things that we would want to do and collect things. We haven't even been able to get to the temple.
Oh.
And so we feel like we're stuck here. But now you're here. The Astrums have returned, and you're the final bastion of hope. You've brought some knowledge to help save us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can Clarrybelle roll for straight face?
Yeah.
You can roll a deception check or a performance check, whatever you feel is most applicable to the situation.
That's a 9.
Okay. Ray.
Just audible.
Yeah.
Ray is the only one looking at you, and he doesn't notice anything,
Okay.
Clarrybelle.
Okay.
We don't have much time. We've lost so many people, says Ray. So what do we need to do, Flick? How can we help?
Who's in charge right now? We should do this all together.
We are.
Okay. Great.
After the separation, they thought that the parents of the asterisms were the ones to lead us on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've big picture. We've got this vial, and we need to gather all the spell plague energy into it. That's the ultimate goal.
So you wouldn't happen to know if there's just a place on the island where it's all sitting and we can just go whoop?
Well, I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen in the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, temple. That's a good start.
It's at the top of the mountain. That's where Baron has made his main base. That's where Saloon connects with us.
Okay, so all we need to do is get me to the temple.
Yeah.
We'll get to the center. We'll gather it all up and store it, and then that should stop the waters coming in. That should hopefully if Baron's there, it should save them as well.
Okay, so we're just going to take you to the temple, and you'll know what to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
And I'm going to hit anything that tries to hurt your daughter. And I just tap my maul.
Bleeding from
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's got any spare healing around here, my friend's not looking so great. And it would be really great if we could sort of stack up some. If there's any able bodies you can spare as well, I wouldn't mind a little bit of backup.
I'll see what we can do. And Ray begins to move about and collect some things for you, while Sun moves off and brings some people in. You are given kind of a healing draft to drink.
Okay, yeah. Down like a shot.
Classic. You down the healing draft like a shot. You heal 7 hit points.
Great.
Tasty. Spell plague, it really just
Spell
messes with all of the
plague.
healing energies.
Yeah, it does.
I have 29 hit points, ladies and gentlemen. 29.
Would I know of any powerful artifacts of any kind on this island that could maybe like a magical straw that I could just suck up all the spell plague energy with?
You don't know much about any magical artifacts here. A lot of what happened is your energy was channeled through the island and through the magic of Saloon to make you one of the asterisms and bond you to the island. So the magic as druids is a lot more connected to the island itself and your connection with Saloon. So you don't have stuff, you just have the world.
just have our emotions.
Yeah. And so you're there and you're on the island. You can feel the spirit of the island.
Cool.
And you are connected to the island.
Okay. Can I check in? I put my hand on a tree. I want to check in with the island. How's she doing?
Okay. Can you roll a d20 with advantage?
Just flat?
Mm-hmm. Just flat.
11.
You put your hand onto the tree and you feel that connection with the land. And you feel the water that flows through you in the cracks in your stone. And you can feel the water lapping at the shores of your island. As you put your hand there, there's a strange sensation in your fingers as if you're drawing from the island. That just by touching it, you can feel something, whether it be a liquid or energy, flowing from the island into your hand. And for just a second, you think you can see the waters recede and then come back. Maybe it's just the tide, but there's something about that.
I put my hand back. Okay. Good.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Just checking in.
All right.
Sun returns with 5 others, and they stand.
Is Clay there?
Clay is one of the 5.
Good.
Can you roll a history check with advantage?
Just don't remember their names.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, what's up? 17.
You recognize all of them. They look older / more weathered than when you last saw them.
Same.
Shine Lightfinger, Crest Willowleaf, Patter Seafoam, and Tulip Peppermill, as well as Clay, Sun, and Ray.
Also, fun fact, Clay and Nox are the 2 other names that I was considering for this character.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, this isn't everybody that we have, but these are our able bodies.
Hey, guys.
They nod very solemnly and quietly.
And you do the druid magics?
We are all druids, yes, but Clay, like Flick, is the only other asterism.
Is asterism like turns into that constellation thing that you do? Is that what that means?
Is that a thing that you can do, by the way?
Which of the 7 people in the room are you looking at?
I'm asking Clay if he can turn into a constellation.
Yes. Yeah.
Great, cool. I wasn't sure if that was separate. Yes, but specifically asterisms are the name that we gave those of us who took the vow with the island.
Oh, okay.
There were 3 of us.
And now
it's
there's
us.
2. Okay.
And we're connected to the island. We can feel it and sense it. That's how Flick looks the way that she does, and how I am who I am.
And how are you?
I mean, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Time will tell.
We should go to the temple.
We should.
I don't know where anything is, so I'm really just kind of following you guys and hitting things if they try and attack us.
The problem with heading to the temple is that there's everybody there. We're not safe. Even with the number of us, and you look incredibly seasoned yourselves, we're likely to just die. You saw the weapons that they had.
Okay, so is there like a secret entrance?
A secret tunnel.
Is there
into the mountain?
Yeah. Is there like could we do a distraction that draws people away from the temple and then we just sneak Flick in to do the important bit?
You said Baron's in the temple, right?
Right.
I think he'll agree to speak to me. If we find a group and we can convince them that Baron will speak to me, they'll take us straight to him.
Okay.
But what if they take only you straight to him?
But we'll make sure that they don't.
You see everybody's eyes, just like Miriam and I, kind of like side-eyeing each other, being like, oh, that's a big...
That's a big if.
Yeah.
Or if we think that's a possibility, we plan for that from the start. I approach the group, and maybe if you guys follow from a distance, it may...
Flick can kind of get out of Dodge pretty quick. I don't think you've done that yet today.
No. Yeah, I can. I'm not worried about that. We just need to figure out a way to get you guys there. Is there a secret tunnel?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
But if they're all focused on escorting me,
we could snake in.
It's like... I can't make that reference. I was going to say it's like following an ambulance through traffic. Like they're clearing the path for you. And so, but what's the D&D equivalent of that?
Like following the guards into town?
Yeah. It's like following the guards into town. They'll clear the path. They won't be looking behind them.
Okay.
It means the path is safe, right?
I mean, we just need to do something because we're on a very tight clock.
Yeah.
We have to go.
Oh, yeah. Like, spoiler alert. What was it? Like 24 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
We have to be back. We need to see a wizard about a lot of things. So
Your dad steps up towards you. So Flick, is this it? Is if you fail, it's over and we all die?
no,
So-
I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not gonna fail, but you guys, how many boats do you have?
We have some. It's a long way to the nearest shore. We didn't even know if you and Clay and
Yeah,
Knox would be able to make it out, but you made it out and back.
yeah.
Most of you.
There's a rowboat
Mhm.
on the eastern shore. Find it.
Mhm.
Make a chain with it because it's going back to land fast. It'll get you guys there. You won't have to worry about supplies.
Just maybe there might be a grumpy wizard that's annoyed you hitched a ride at the end of it, but I mean, he's a real pussycat once you get past the yelling and turning people into bananas.
Don't go into any blue doors, but it'll get you to shore.
Okay. But if we all go with you and not everything goes to plan, then there'll be nobody to go to the dinghy. I'm just asking, are we putting all our eggs in this basket?
So
Or-
is what you're saying is that this group of people that's about to come with us to the temple, that's everyone?
there are a few other elderly people, children here.
Okay, well then maybe the elderly
Yeah, I
people
didn't
and the
realize
children go put them in the boat with the dinghy, and then everyone else come with us.
But I don't know if they're going to make it.
Okay,
You were attacked on your way in, and we only
that's
have
right.
the one raft.
We were.
Clay, would you come with us? I think I need you.
I can come with you.
All right, everyone else, start packing and hope for the best.
Right. It says, that's not, I didn't mean that,
It's okay.
that you were, and son puts a hand on the shoulder. We knew that when you became an asterism that this was a risk. It's obviously sad, but it's almost a blessing that we've lost the Underbow family, that they never knew. She goes to speak and then just hugs you. And Ray steps in and hugs you as well.
I'm going to fix this.
Goodbye. And your parents walk out of the room.
We're gonna fix this. You're not alone, Flick. And I know I can't do the magic stuff, but
I grab Clarrybelle's hand. We got to go.
yeah, we do.
And I look to Clay. Lead the way.
We're still, for lack of a better word, offering you up?
I think that's the best way to go. Unless
Okay.
you have another idea.
Well, no, if that's what you want to do, I'll leave the raft here. I'm sure they can make use of it. Safer than traveling to the boat by foot.
I think that's a good idea. When'd you get that, by the way?
Look, there's been a lot of ups and downs here. It was here when I got here. They've been mining something called smoke powder, and that's allowed us to, along with the spell plague, things like that, and things like what we've been firing at.
Mining from like in the mountain?
Mm.
Okay.
Where did you end up? We're walking, I assume, by this point.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Just standing in the middle of the circular room.
Just like, we gotta go. Anyway, let's catch up.
I'd like to be active perception checking while we're walking vibes.
Can you roll a perception check, please?
Sure. 17.
I headed eastward directly from here. I know that Knox stopped at Baldur's Gate and sort of tried to find information there, but I continue to head east, and I met with some people called the Zentarum, the Dark Network, at Darkhold. I ended up at the kind of base in the Sunset Mountains. Not the kind of people you want to fall in with, but they seem to have a lot of knowledge about the spell plague.
Did you get to shore super quickly as well?
Look, it was really vague. I don't remember what happened. I was in the boat, and then I've kind of forgotten since then what happened. I just was in the docks at Baldur's Gate, it felt like. I'm sure there was something in between, but I can't remember. You?
Yeah, I just was suddenly at shore. Ended up in the Sword Mountains, met Clarrybelle, and we've been sort of traveling around there.
A lot of our spell plague stuff has kind of been like hands-on experience rather than like
As you can see.
actually knowledge learning things. So if you've got like anything really concrete that you've discovered, that would be great, because most of us is just like, okay, so if you take it in this much, you make fire, and if you take it in this much, you go invisible.
And a picture book and candle key.
And yeah, and Flick can do some. Have I seen you blight?
Yes,
And-
against
and-
one of the
yeah.
trees.
And Flick can do some crazy dark spell thing now.
It's all in here.
Oh, what was your perception check?
17.
Well, so what I found out was that there's, what the Zentarum believe is that their magic, I suppose, flows from the gods. It's a shift of Mistra, the goddess of magic. And Mistra, there's some kind of something going on there, that Mistra has been killed or has been imprisoned or is missing or is sick. So something else has stepped in to control the flow of magic, and it's twisting everything. And that's why we still have our magic, but if we can become consumed by it, or it's not doing what we expect of it, and strange things are happening.
We heard something about Mr. as
That was
well,
exactly what I
'cause
was
it
about
was
to
written on my
say.
sheet, and I don't know why. And I rubbed it out last session because I went, I don't know what this is about.
Was it recently?
I reckon it would have been 2 or 3 episodes ago.
We know Mistra is relevant.
We've heard the name Mr. recently as well.
Well, that's all I know, and the realms of gods are not really my expertise.
Does Gauntlgrim mean anything to you?
No.
Okay.
Does it mean something to you?
It's just something that's been coming up a few times.
It's an old dwarvish legend, but it's definitely connected in.
Do you have something maybe that can help us move quicker or quieter, perhaps? I'm not sure.
I can tiptoe,
Well, I guess that's better than nothing.
and I'll roll stealth with a 9.
No, sorry, I didn't.
Well, I guess we're just left to our own devices then. Can you roll stealth, please?
16.
As you travel mildly quietly up the hill, you're moving through trees. Something about it, Flick, is familiar to you, but you haven't been gone that long. You've been gone for less than a year, but it feels so foreign to you.
It's the same. I'm different.
Yeah.
Can I keep an eye and an ear out for other people so we know when we're getting close?
Can you roll a perception check as well?
14.
As you walk, the trees begin to thin, and you can see ahead of you a sight that is very recognizable to you, Flick, but is new to you, Clarrybelle, of essentially a small mountain, very small to you, Clarrybelle, who is somebody who's grown up against the Sword Mountains, this enormous mountain range, but almost like a volcano, it opens up at the top. And it seems like all the light is being funneled down into it. Like it's darker around the outside, and this kind of beam of pure light is coming down into the top of this mountain. And you recognize that as the placement of the Temple of Saloon.
We're getting close. Maybe we should. If I walk a bit in front, you guys stay behind. So in case we come across anyone, then they only see me first and you guys can hide.
All right.
And I sit out in front.
Okay.
I cast guidance on Clarrybelle before I go.
Oh, thank you.
How long does that last?
A minute.
You begin to walk forwards towards the temple, and then you feel something in your back. It's dangerous to go walking alone in the woods for someone such as you.
Maybe that's what I was looking for.
Clarrybelle,
Yeah.
you feel something in your back. Metal
Okay.
pointed in there.
Yep.
Don't worry, Goldkind. We have your friends too.
All right. Will you speak with me?
Why would he want to speak with you?
Old time's sake. I've come back with some things he might want to know.
The person behind you kicks you in the legs so that you fall to your knees. Do you accept that?
Yep.
Okay. And a long, thin tube is pointed at the back of your head, and you can feel it pressing into you. If it was up to me, it'd all be over right here. But it seems Old Time's Sake is not just you.
Let's go then.
And you're allowed to stand, and you move on.
Are we also moved on?
You are not.
So we're being held where we are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I spare a glance back at you guys and I just give you a nod.
Your guidance has passed.
Yeah.
Clarrybelle and Clay,
Yeah.
we're going to be keeping you here at this time until we receive orders from above.
Above, like, literally, or above, like, you have, like your boss? I'm sorry, there was someone in a raft above earlier, so I just...
Once Moonbubble has given the order whether to keep or release you...
I'm so
That's what I was avoiding saying.
I'm so sorry
That's
I
why I
gave him
said
that
from
name.
above.
And
No, you
that's
did
why I
so
pushed
well.
it.
I actually really love it. Like it's perfect, but I'm so sorry.
Once Moonbubble has given the order, whether positive or negative, then we'll make the call from there.
Okay. What's your name?
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yes.
15.
Carson?
That's such a nice name. I'm Clarrybelle. Both C's. Let's assume we use the same alphabet. We might not.
We're going to cut back to Flick.
Sorry.
That was really good.
As you climb the mountain and you're led to the temple, the person behind you is silent. Do you wish to make any conversation or anything?
No, but can I glance back a few times and get a beat on them? Like, do I recognize them? What kind of weapons have they got?
Are you being sneaky about that, or are you letting them know that you're trying to gather some information?
I think I'll try to be sneaky, but I'm not too worried. Like, I'm not going to hold back too much just to make sure that they don't know.
Can you roll a stealth check and a perception check, please?
Stealth is 13.
Mm-hmm.
Perception is a 22.
They are an older figure who you recognize. The name is Soren. You didn't hang around with them much, but they were kind of on the fringes of your parents' kind of friendship circle. What you know of Soren is just, I think, like one or two comments made by Pepper that were not positive. That maybe Soren was a little bit too gruff, a little bit too self-important.
I'm going to just try to keep my dignity about me, essentially, and go where they lead. I think that's the best way to appease and get what I need.
Okay. You are taken up the mountain and you arrive at the Temple of Saloon, and you are allowed to enter on your own. Is there anything you'd like to do before you enter? Clarrybelle, this journey up the mountain has taken maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Are you or Clay going to attempt to do anything or start any conversation, or are you just going to sit and wait and allow this to be Flick's moment?
I think I've been traveling with Flick for a while. I've encountered the Emerald Enclave a few times now. I think I'm kind of familiar with druids, sort of.
Yeah.
In terms of like a magical person I'd be able to assess, druid's my best bet.
Oui.
So I think while I'm having my bubbly little conversation with Carson, I'd like to be, if I can assess how much of a threat I think he is.
Mm-hmm. Can you roll an insight check with advantage?
That's a natural 20 on the dice for a 21.
You think that in a really positive state, which you're not in right now,
Yeah.
you could take Carson without any problems at all.
Yeah.
However, you don't know what means Carson has to communicate with anybody else.
With anyone else, yeah.
So you don't know what risks that might have for you or Clay or the people back in Flick's home or for Flick herself.
And I had a pretty decent perception. I think Clarrybelle knows when she's pretty aware, and did not see these people coming at all.
No.
Yeah. So there could be more of them in the trees that I don't know or don't see. I think I just make eye contact with Clay and try and, as much as I can, get across from my face that, like, if there's a moment, we're going to go.
Can you roll a persuasion check?
That's a 10 for my persuasion.
Okay. You try and connect and communicate with Clay as much as possible.
Yeah.
As Flick, you enter the Temple of Saloon alone. What would you like to do before you enter?
I'm going to take off my sort of outer layer. Like, I've probably got a little jacket on. Make sure that's off, stow it away in my pack. Going in with bare arms, baby. Spell plagued the wind, I stride in.
You step into the Temple of Saloon. Again, you have been here this year, but it feels like a long time since you were last here. You can remember the last time that you were here was the ceremony for your asterism, and you stood there with Clay and now the late Knox as you were linked to the island in front of your friends and family. And now you're here alone in this circle temple with white stone stepped up where people used to be sitting in an amphitheater style, an altar in the middle, and sitting cross-legged on the altar is your old friend, Baron Moonbubble. Baron begins to slowly clap. You know, of the three who left, I was pretty sure it was you that was going to die, but I guess Knox was good enough.
You know, I've always been good at surpassing expectations.
You know, funnily enough, that's not the flick I'm familiar with. You know, I think that if I'd hung around, I would have been asterism myself, but they would have only needed the one. Not weaker, and weakest, looking straight at you.
Always a pleasure, Baron.
You too, Flicky. So apparently you have some grand plans, a grand design to bring yourself here that you want to share with me, perhaps turn me from my ways.
Never been able to do it before. Figured I wouldn't start now. May I?
Of course.
No. Go and take a seat.
He sidles over to make room for you.
Never thought I'd see you here again.
I know there's a certain cruel irony to it. I come up here every night, look up at the moon, chuckle to myself. That's about it, though. I mean, I won't be here much longer, but, you know, we're on to bigger and better things.
Is that so?
I'm sure.
And what grand designs does your little mind have?
Well, this is such a mighty and beautiful place, full of so much kind of like latent magical energy. I think that as it falls, there's bound to be a magical moat that will be breathed out of it right at the last second. I'm sure I'll ride that wave right onto some magical high.
Right, and when the island goes under?
Oh, I think that I'll be okay. But I'm pretty sure looking at you, you'll sink like a stone.
Yeah, well, I always seem to come crawling back when it's least expected. So, what you been up to?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Made some new friends.
Made some new weapons.
Oh, yeah, look, I can't claim all of that, you know. It came to me in a spark of genius, as it were.
You.
He just stares at you smiling.
And where, pray tell, did you find this spark?
Well, you know, I was just sitting and let's just say it came to me like a song.
Knew it. Knew it.
Yeah, right. What did they promise you?
Do I need promises?
You clearly don't.
I mean, I was told that the spell plague would consume this place whole. This place that never really liked me or included me or wanted me. You know, and I would get to see some people, like you, just sink down below. And there would be this kind of great moment where, you know, you would all just be lost under the water and I would be free to walk amongst you and do what I wanted. I would be the king of this little castle.
Why?
Well, the gold kinds wouldn't really understand something like this. But the moon bubbles weren't always on the front of the agenda. Nobody says, "Oh, come along. Pepper doesn't take me under his wing." No asterisms are befalling my head. But that's okay. Other people have realized my potential, and they'll call me, and as soon as that happens, I'll be flying on my way to some bigger city. Neverwinter, perhaps. Maybe I'll even get to meet the great Lord Protector himself.
He's not all that great.
Oh, of course you've met him.
So really, nothing's changed. You run away because you feel left out, and you hide behind this greater purpose. I just wonder how much you really have of your own.
He stands. Well, one day all of this will be my own. One day I'll stand above it all. Everybody's just a stepstone to getting where I want to get to. So maybe I need a little bit of help on the way, but in the end, it'll all happen as it was supposed to be. We're all voices in one giant choir, but mine will stand and sing taller than everybody else's.
Yeah, I've heard your singing, Baron. Maybe just keep that one under wraps.
Can you roll initiative, please?
Oh.
6.
8 on his end. Okay, so you are too slow and you realize too late as he flings 3 daggers in your direction.
Oh.
That's a 9 to hit, which will miss, an 11 to hit, which will miss, and I'm going to go with that one, a 12 to hit, which will miss.
Yep.
Thank God.
They bounce off of my stone skin.
In a spate of anger, he throws them at you and they just go clink, clink, cling, and you stand there unfazed.
I'm still sitting.
You sit unfazed.
Oh, Baron. Better luck next time. And I stand.
And we are now in combat, and this is your turn.
All right, we're going to start with you tell me what role it is. I want to get an idea of, is there a similar energy to Clark, or is it a little bit more straightforward than that? What are the power levels I'm looking at?
Roll an insight check.
17.
You are seeing and sensing your spell plague energy within you. A deep, deep power here. Something that is beyond Baron. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've worked out what's going on already.
No, what?
But something is definitely aiding Baron through this, and you don't know in what way that will manifest. If it's just like, oh, Baron, and then Baron's just a tool and you'll kill Baron and it's fine. Or if greater powers that are there will bear down upon you.
Okay. But do I sense magic within Baron?
Yes.
Okay, so it's different to when we were kids.
He's different to... You're both different to when you were kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Seems like it could take a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We're just going to start... Why not? We're in the Temple Saloon with a moonbeam straight down on his head.
Nice.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
So 15?
My spell save is 16.
Oh! So it's a fail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 12 points of radiant damage
Yeah.
as he's engulfed in ghostly flames.
Okay. He is engulfed in ghostly flames, and you see him go and take a big breath in, and those flames enter into his mouth, and he breathes out. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Yep. Dexterity 15.
That's a failure.
Yep.
As blue flame pours out of his mouth upon you, and you take 10 points of necrotic damage.
I should be here.
Flick, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to take the hit, and then in the moment that he's recovering, breathing back in some oxygen, I'm going to rush in, and I'm going to take his shoulder and cast Blight.
Nice.
I got some of this too, baby. Constitution, please.
It's an 18.
It's all right, still half damage. 41 halved is 20 points of necrotic damage. And I just put my other hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, you're not strong enough for this.
As the sickness spreads across his chest, he looks at you. I'm stronger than you know. And he's going to place his hands around your head, and he is going to push into you with spell plague energy.
Yep.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
That's a natural one.
Okay. 10,000 voices fill your ears as the symphony and the choir flow through you. You are prone. Mm-hmm. By prone, I mean you fall to your knees, just for narrative's sake. You are blinded, and you take 20 points of necrotic damage.
Cool. I'm on 3.
However, you hear a voice coming through the choir, a voice you recognize, Clarrybelle. As a member of the symphony, you feel a connection as the song invades Flick's mind. From where you are, you can see Flick kneeling prone with the hands of Baron around her head, and you have a direct link in this moment to her mind.
Hey, girl, hey.
I'm going to add you to the initiative order.
Yeah.
Just for this round potentially, or for longer. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And you're going to go after Baron so that you can talk to Flick.
Oh gosh. Okay. Flick, what do you need?
I need time to get to him.
Okay.
Like a distraction, maybe?
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. God.
Yes. I love this energy.
In my own body, I will turn to Clay and just say, Flick needs a distraction now. And then in the mindscape where I'm connected to the symphony, I am going to talk to them.
I like it.
Yeah. You may not in a minute. And I'm going to say, if you want me to deliver on our deal, I have to be here. And I'm going to point at Flick and Baron and the space. And that's my move.
So in the outside space, you turn and you see Clay transform himself into some kind of feline yellow spotted creature and bolt away at a faster speed than you've seen any creature move.
Yeah.
As a flash shoots across behind you, almost deafening you with the volume, and it does not hit Clay. In the mind space, you say, I need to be here in the space with Flick and Baron.
Yeah.
Highs or lows?
Don't do this to me.
That's mean.
That's so mean. Lows.
A voice cuts through that only you hear, Clarrybelle, in this cacophony of voices.
Yep.
There are many irons in the fire. You are but one.
And you blink, and you're in the Temple of Saloon with everybody else.
Okay.
Flick, it's your turn.
All right.
You have transported about 30 feet away from them.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to bonus action healing word myself at second level.
Good.
For 15 hit points.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm stoked with that, honestly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I'm just going to blindly reach out, clasp the side of his neck, and I'm going to say, not this time. And I'm going to push into his mind, and I'm going to attempt to draw his magic into me. Like I did once before with the primordial, like I've seen Valindra do. I'm going to get it out of there.
Can you roll a spell attack?
Yep. 23.
With a DC 20, you feel it, and you connect with your spell plague latent energy. And with a 2 on his saving throw, you draw the energy of the symphony and the energy of the choir into you. And you can feel it coursing through your body. You can hear the voices and the song and the music come through you. Beneath your hands, you feel Baron collapse into a husk beneath your fingers as you draw his life force from him. And the blindness is lifted from you, and you see nothing but a shell on the altar of Saloon. We are out of combat order.
No. I cast healing word on him first level.
Healing has no impact on a corpse.
I walk over and I put my hand on Flick's shoulder.
He was a good man.
Flick, was he the thing we had to stop, or is the thing we had to stop still going to happen?
No, it's still going to happen. We've got to keep moving.
Okay.
Where's Clay?
He turned into something with spots and ran really fast in this direction.
All right. Are we in the center of the temple at the moment?
Yes, you are on the altar with the husk of Baron, and standing next to you is Clarrybelle.
Do you have the vial? The thing that Mordenkainen gave us?
Yeah?
All right. I think this is the best place to do it.
Okay.
I've got to draw it up and put it in there.
And I'm just going to hold it?
I feel like there's probably going to be some sparks flying, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So I need you to make sure it goes in.
I'll do my best.
And Clay, when he gets here, it might be too much for me.
Okay.
I need him to handle the overflow.
Okay.
This is our shot.
We can do it.
Okay, let me check in. And I sit down by the altar. I place my hands on it, take a few deep breaths, and connect with the island.
You reach out and connect to the island. Do you freely allow everything to flow through you?
After what I just did, yeah.
Power courses through your body, through your arms, through your veins, through your lungs. You can feel it flowing like a torrent, a waterfall pouring down into you, like you're being filled up and like you're drowning at the same time, as all of the spell plague energy that is rocking your island is sent through you in an instant. It flows, and you feel yourself full, but there's more. It's just you and Clarrybelle. Do you continue?
I reach out for the vial. Can I act as a conduit, or do I need to take it first?
You reach out and you touch the vial, and you feel some of it beginning to eke out, but you think that you need to take more of it on in order to get it to flow through.
That's what I came here to do. Yeah, of course.
Can you roll a spell attack, please?
Natural 20.
The spell plague energy fills you to the top and begins to overflow. You can feel your stone form growing and bulging. Clarrybelle, as you look on from the outside, you can see water leaking out of every crack in her stone as Flick's form begins to grow and grow and grow as it becomes overwhelmed with the spell plague energy, almost to the point of explosion. And then, as she is filled with all of the spell plague energy from the island, it spills forth from her hand into the vial, like a tornado shooting down in, filling up what is this tiny vial with all the magical energy. Darkness falls around you, and a single beam of moonlight comes down from Saloon at this time as the last bit of spell plague goes inside that little vial. The sun clears, birds sing, and Flick collapses to the ground unconscious. And that's where we're going to call the episode.
You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast, and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page, where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Full song list and additional artists can be found in the episode description. Cover art by Caddy Wampus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendale, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadro, our GM and producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.